Welcome into a brand new episode of WSI TV. Enjoy the show.
Welcome back for another brand new episode of Bishop's Move. I'm Jordan Bishop and I'm joined by Taylor Klinkbeil. How are you doing today, Taylor?
I'm good. How are you, Jordan?
Good, thanks. So as always, before we jump into this great content we've got for you today, I do have to remind you to go over to WSITV.com, sign up for our free daily newsletters. You'll also get instant access to the WSI Vault for free. So Taylor, why don't you kick us off with what we're talking about today?
Yes, I would love to, Jordan. So today we're going to be talking about something that's kind of a seasonal deal. We've been looking into very specific things in the past month. Obviously, we talked about how October was kind of a rocky month for the market and things were kind of shaky there, but November's been really great. We've seen some record highs this month. So we're going to talk about $157,000 payout that only happens this time of year. So it is a limited time offer and it is something that is exclusive to November, so we're going to get into that a little bit today.
Okay, great. So let's jump into it. You can make money year round,
yes,
of course. I mean, we do it. We send out articles all year round. But some payouts are different, as you said. This is a November payout exclusively. Yes. So why don't you give some insight on why that's November and how you get to that?
Yeah, of course. So the reason I think that we kind of zoom in on these things sometimes, more often than not, we do more broader market things, especially with Jim and the way that he looks at the market. But you and I kind of look more specifically into sectors and things like that. We look into the market trends, kind of like the mainstream media looks at day-to-day activity. They look at, well, this thing came out today and this earnings report was today. We kind of look at the overall market in general to understand what's going on and what's succeeding in the moment. So we track the sector, whether it's doing bad or not, depending on which sector you're looking at. But sometimes if one sector, for example, is doing really well, the stocks in it are doing really well, so there's a good chance for profit there.
Right, and just to clarify, the sectors are like the technology sector, the real estate sector, the retail sector. So it's just basically the different divisions, the subsets of the overall market.
Yes.
And of course, today we are talking about the industrial sector. But before we get to that, can we touch on this ridiculous headline?
Yes, I would love to. Yes. So Jordan and I came across a headline, I believe it was earlier this month, where someone said that the stocks had canceled the 2020 recession, to which you and I said we didn't know there was one.
Exactly.
So obviously there wasn't some 2020 recession on the books that all of a sudden has been reversed because something magical has happened in the market. They're kind of just going with the day-to-day things that are rolling in, like I said earlier, and they're kind of just reacting to the punches as they hit, as opposed to stepping back and saying there's nothing wrong with the market right now. And we're not expecting this huge dip like we saw last year. The 2020 recession was not a thing that we were ever concerned about. So
and it's a very bold move to predict, I mean, that far out.
Exactly,
We listen to the market and we listen to what the market's telling us, but I get a lot of people ask me, when's the next recession? I mean, one, it doesn't really matter because if you're using the trading techniques we use, there's certain things you can trade and make money on, whether we're in a bull or a bear market.
Exactly.
But we are, of course, full on bull right now. That's why we have the bull sitting here.
Yes.
Did we decide on a name? I know we had a few suggestions.
I think we had a few, but I don't know if we ever chose.
We didn't. Okay, I saw Billy was one of the suggestions.
I did see Billy too.
So that's quite a nice name. But maybe
that.
We can name him before the annual Wealth Summit.
Yes, I think that's a good idea. We can release his name at the annual Wealth Summit.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. So, but anyway, back to what we're talking about here. So, as we just said, we are clearly in a bull market. These journalists like to they need the clicks on the page,
100%,
right? So the 2020 recession is a scary headline, but it's going to get you clicks. So that it's wrong how they do it, but it is what it is, and we're here to clarify that.
Yes.
So what sector are we talking about today then?
Yes. So like you mentioned, we are talking about industrial stocks today. For whatever reason, I haven't really gotten into the stuff behind as to why industrial stocks would do so well in November, but honestly, it doesn't really matter, seeing as they do so well.
Right.
So right now we're looking into certain industrial stocks, but also just the sector in general. And if you want to show them the next slide, Jordan, we have the sector like fund for the industrial sector. This is just the generic industrial sector. The ticker is XLI. And if you can see these green arrows behind me, and Jordan, there's one right here from 2016, one from 2017, and one from 2018. And those are all upticks just from November. And those are very large increases that we've seen in just the span of a month. And those are specific days and of course specific weeks in a month. But that's a very like noticeable change that we've seen in such a specific sector in a very specific time frame.
Right, and just one point about these sector ETFs or funds that track these sectors. They're a great way to just follow how's the retail sector doing.
Exactly.
Well, I'll just look up the retail sector. I believe it's XLRE. I'll just look at that. So there's a list of them that you can go find online. That's a great way to know, and you'll sound like an expert.
Exactly.
Just by looking at the chart.
Yes.
But what's funny here to me is the industrial sector has been strong. What happened to that manufacturing report that shook the whole public? That shook the public not too long ago.
Yes.
I mean, clearly there was something off there. What you would do when you hear all that talk about the manufacturing numbers being down, you just look at the industrial sector.
Exactly. Yes.
And say it is clearly healthy. So nothing to worry about.
Exactly.
But that was one of the indicators of their 2020 recession, wasn't it?
Yes.
Something that
the manufacturing slowdown. Yes.
So it's kind of spooky actually how every November, and it's a good thing to look out for too, because November I'm 99% sure I'm going to make this cash as long as I make this move. So,
yes.
This is absolutely a great find, and you've got the numbers outlined here for each November. And those are decent profits.
Yes, yeah. The average profit that we've seen in November for the past 3 years was $3,400. So, and of course that is going to fluctuate with the market, but as we said, we're in a bull market, so we're expecting a pretty good turnout for this sector.
Exactly.
And like you said, that manufacturing slowdown, Jim and I were talking about it a couple weeks ago actually, that those numbers come out like a month after. And Jim always talks about how the market predicts things like 6 to 9 months in advance. Obviously the industrial sector kind of jumped over that already, so the people that are still freaking out about that, the stock is not.
Yeah,
so
just look at that chart and you'll be good to go. And of course you could make these profits even higher if you've got more money to play with, so this is a very conservative outlook here.
Yes.
But we'd like to get a little more fine-tuned with this, don't we?
Yes.
So we can look at the whole sector. You can absolutely trade the whole sector. But what that has too is the weight of the companies that are doing poorly. So if the sectors are a subset of the market, then the companies are almost a subset of the sector.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
You want to pinpoint the ones that are doing well.
Yes.
So you get super sniper with these picks and find the companies. And Taylor, you've got a few here for us. Why don't you walk me through?
So this one right now that I have up for you, the ticker is HEI. It is a company that's in aerospace. We've actually seen this company had a $94,000 payout in 3 years.
Wow.
So obviously you can see it's a super strong chart behind us. And it's just kind of one of those stocks, like you said, in that whole fund that's kind of bringing up the sector right now. And we do have a strong outlook for aerospace in general coming into 2020. So this one's definitely going to continue to go up as we've seen. But
I mean, aerospace is one part of the economy that hasn't been monopolized yet, so there'll be a lot of companies pushing for this.
Yes.
We've got another one here. Why don't you walk me through it?
Yes, this one is Verisk Analytics, Analytics, and the ticker is VRSK. We did see a payout of $62,000 over the past 3 years, so if you just put your money into those two stocks, that's a pretty large sum that you're looking at, not even including the sector that we talked about earlier, if you were buying into that fund. And they do business support, so obviously it's totally irrelevant to aerospace like we talked about a second ago. And it doesn't really matter what business they're in. As you can see, this is also a very strong chart that you can count on because, again, the sector is doing well and you're going to be needing these products in the future. So
right, exactly. Another very strong chart there for you. So here's just a simple sort of layout for tracking these profits. So Taylor, I'm going to throw this back to you again if you want to walk me through this.
Yes, so right behind me I've got kind of just the way that you can build up your profits. So Jordan did mention that you can diversify between the companies that you hold, the types of funds that you hold. You don't have to specify just industrial sector stocks, but it is something that we are focusing on right now because it's something that's doing well. But basically all you have to do in any month of any year, whenever you'd like, is look for a sector that's doing well. And that's what you first told me when I started. You were like, just keep an eye on something. If it looks good, look closer, you know? So we find something that's doing well, you track the progress of the sector, and then you try and take the payouts when they come. So like you said, whether it's a bull or a a bear market, you're going to make money either way if you know what you're doing. So it's really as easy as just the 3 steps that we just talked about.
Right, and this works in any month with
Exactly.
really any sector, you know. It's kind of an added overlay that you know November is good for industrials, but you know, you may find real estate is good one March, bad the next March, but as long as you home in on those companies within that good month and that good sector, you'll be set, you'll be good to go.
Yes.
So thank you so much for bringing this to my attention,
Of course.
Taylor.
Yes.
We'll speak to you next time.
Thanks for watching the latest episode of WSI TV. Be sure to visit WSITV.com where you can subscribe for free with no contract and gain instant access to the secrets of self-made millionaires via the WSI TV Vault. So go ahead and claim this gift for free now at WSITV.com.